Quick intro to an amazing product. Elfin Flip 4K. This is a, as you can see here, flippable, portable 4K projector. What's super impressive about this one here is it's not just a 4K projector that's that small, which is pretty sweet. It's a triple laser 4K projector with very impressive specs. There's gonna be two videos. This is the full review, which is gonna look at a little bit of gaming, but primarily, the day-to-day use, the media consumption, the specs, all that kind of stuff, just how it is as a projector for standard use. But there is gonna be a second video that's gonna be gaming focused. So let's jump into the specs of this product here, see what we have, and see what I think about this new launch. We have access to 4K. So it's a 4K projector, that's awesome. And it is a laser projector with a triple laser setup. That's going to allow for it to have exceptional clarity. Triple laser is going to help with very bright. 1600 ISO lumen is incredibly bright, right? They say here that the average is 1100. I think that's an underestimation. I think these guys are well above the average projector, to be honest. You do have access to adjustable zoom here. You have a lot of other features too, such as automatic object avoidance. So if you have like a pillar over here or something in the way, it will help fit it within that. You have access to automatic keystone correction, all these features as well. So very easy to get this thing set up. You're going to potentially be taking it with you and then going to a new area, setting it up. So it is nice to have those automatic built-in features. 20,000 to 1 dynamic contrast ratio. So this is their picture of the standard. These guys have 20,000 to 1. That is well above an IPS panel. That is well above a VA panel. And you'll see in this video, the blacks are exceptionally rich. Now the color space, they don't say it in this little infographic here, but we do have access to good calibration. So less than Delta E calibration and certification, which is important because it also has access to very good color space, 110% point 2020. We have access to Adobe sRGB. So if you're going to be doing professional work or showing off professional work with your projector once you've already done it, you do have access to Adobe sRGB color space. You can flip it into that and it's calibrated. You also have access to stuff such as DCI-P3 color space, which I will show a lot today because that's really good for content consumption and gaming. On that note, of course, we do have built-in speakers. You can take it with you and you have audio on the go. Under 1 millisecond of latency, basically 1 millisecond of latency, you do have access to 4K and VRR, variable refresh rate. Very important because it's going to help keep things nice and smooth. And you can also flip it into 1080p and put up to 120 hertz refresh. So this thing's crazy. Let's jump in. And there it is. Nice packaging, obviously, and then we'll just get our accessories in here. It's pretty straightforward. So nice, clean presentation. These guys do actually focus on the aesthetics of the projector, which that may sound like counterintuitive, like it's a projector. Why would you want to look at it? Because it's going to be a centerpiece in your room, right? Typically, these are going to be something that's going to be set up, presented. People are going to be looking at it because they're going to come over and you're going to show it off. But even just for your own design, it's almost like an abstract art piece there. It's kind of nice. You do have feet on the bottom there, and then of course you do have a mounting point. It is adjustable, so you can easily get it adjusted without, to your specifications, without doing that, but you could still mount it, of course, too. And I suspect you could also hang it as well. So you have that as well. Audio, sound by Harman Kardon. Power and DC. 2 USB dongles. You can use the USBs for media, but you can also use it for plugging in a accessory. HDMI for display and HDMI eARC as well. eARC is, if you don't know what eARC is, it basically allows you to hook up a soundbar, for example, directly to this, which will then be powered on when you turn on the device here. It's different than like optical. It will, when this turns on, it'll turn on the soundbar, for example. You can control the soundbar with this when you do that as well. So when I use the audio here, this thing has really good speakers built in, so you don't necessarily need that. However, if you do have a sound system, if the HDMI ARC is plugged into your sound system, when you hit audio here, this device here will tell your soundbar or your speakers or whatever you have to crank up the volume, turn down the volume, mute, etc. Okay, and here we are. We're getting set up. You can see it here. Thing on the wall. Now, I will start the video by saying this. You see that striping in those lines? You cannot see that in person. There is nothing I can do about that. Anytime I review a laser projector, because the way that lasers work, there is a laser beam going off of there's 3 of them actually, going off of the projector, hitting the wall and coming back into the camera. Cameras don't do that well with lasers. They do well with ambient lighting. They don't like lasers, right? So it has a little bit of a purple hue to it on camera. It doesn't matter which camera I use, a dedicated camera, such as this one here, or an iPhone, such as this one here. I don't have the technology to properly record a laser projector. And anytime that it looks funny on camera, and if it does not look like that in person, I'll point it out for you guys. There is no lines in real life at all, and it does not look purple. It just looks normal, but there's nothing I can do about that. It's just, I don't have a dedicated camera that is specifically designed to record laser projectors. Now, another thing I would like to point out is I'm making this scene very hard. There is a huge window there, so it's really bright. And I don't make my videos easy. I like to give things their hardest possible scenario. If it passes the test under that scenario, personally, I think that has a lot more weight and adds a lot more objectivity to the review. And honestly, it makes it a better product. I'm a country. So you can go through it with the remote. I could put on a mouse and keyboard if that's easier. You can also use Google Home or Google TV, Google Home. So I just scan the QR code. I'm not going to show you all this because it'll have private information, but we'll do some of it. Powered by Google TV. Okay, so once you log in, of course, it's going to ask you which apps you want. Again, these are certified, licensed apps here, so that's good. I'm already noticing the incredible colors here, just to start, but whatever. So you can, whatever, we can put on Netflix, for example. I'm not going to show Netflix because I don't want to get demonetized, obviously. You can come up here to your settings, more settings, and you can go to Projector, for example. This is where some of the, because it's Google TV, so it has like general TV settings, but then it also has projector settings because it's a projector. So you can come in here and you can go Keystone, you can change all these things, wall color, adaptation. It's a little whiter with the default color, but it's a little richer with adapted color because it knew that the wall was not pure white, it's like a light gray. Okay, so we're set up. I just want to show you, one of the benefits of it. But I do want to show you some of the auto keystone, correction, all that kind of stuff. So we'll come in here, it'll do it on its own. So if I just come in here and I just, whoa, okay, it's so bright. Okay, did you see that? It figured out that there was a box in the way and it said, you know what, that's going to be a problem. Let's shrink the image. And of course now I can fix it, but it did a totally fine job. See, it detected that there's a box there and it made it smaller. You can see that the light here on the box, you might be able to see, is there is like projected capability of going there, but it has determined that there's a freaking box there and it has shrunk it, right? Before we start, I do want to show you just how noisy, and in this case, not noisy it is. So you can see that. Standing right beside it's about 33 dB. My noise floor is 33 dB. Okay, so let's continue on. I'm going to show you some other cool stuff. Let's get in here. We're going to look at the controller options here. So as I mentioned before, now that we've got it all set up, we have access to we can use the controller, we can use the Google TV app. But you can also go like this, right? And I can use it as a controller now. So if I don't have the controller, I just have the mic in my hand, the phone in my hand, I have the mic over there, I can go like this. And I can flip in and out of the app, click the keyboard button, and I could type if I was searching, and I could just type it on my phone naturally, which is so much better than going through the controller and going. Now, another thing I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to come out here for a sec. One thing I do want to show you that whether you're using this here or you are using this here, it feels very snappy. I guess the processor and the memory and all the features in here in this projector mean that it feels snappy. It does not feel laggy. It does not feel like I'm fighting against it to try to get anything playing here. Like, it actually feels natural. One of the benefits here is the color. We'll talk about the color, obviously, but I want to talk about the crispness. So this is a 4K projector, okay? But it's also a laser projector. Laser projectors are very nice because they have a very crisp image. Rather than having a traditional bulb, like a light bulb, that is projecting light over here, or LEDs, that kind of stuff, this is a laser-based projector, so you're able to get very crisp, fine lines on a surface. As a result, it's also really nice that you have it at 4K, so they're going to basically feed off each other. You have the ability to have incredible crispness with a triple laser. It's a laser, it's a triple laser based product. So you're able to get incredible crispness and detail focus, but at the same time, because it's also then 4K, it's also able to resolve that resolution. Now, I am going to show you something here, and this is where things get very serious. So if you remember, I was talking about clarity and brightness. Obviously, this is a very bright screen. We're in a room that is fairly bright, I guess. It's getting darker finally. Well, things like these greens here are going to look very saturated, very, very, very saturated. Awesome if you are watching movies and TV shows and things like that that have nice bright colors. How about that? And of course, if you're playing games as well, we will play a game after that has that same type of benefit. But here, right, we're gonna have very vivid, beautiful, bold, awesome colors here that are coming from that color space. We'll do our best with recording this. It does have a very slight purple tinge to it on camera. In real life, it does not have that. There's just nothing I can do about it. So you can see that there. It's so bright, vivid, green, looks fantastic. It looks awesome. Really, really, really natural. Look at how awesome that looks. It's so vibrant. I love color. I'm a color person. I never liked the whole like blue or sepia phases that we had in movies and that where everything was just washed out and gross and desaturated. I love vibrancy and color. Color is the spice of life. Now here I am showing you the color. This is a very vibrant royal red, royal red, super, super vibrant. Of course it does emphasize the greens as well, but in the reds you really notice that color space. If you had 100% sRGB or below, these reds would not be even close to as saturated as that. And it looks way better in person than camera. The camera can't do it justice, but this is another important thing I want to show here. That contrast, right? Now, you know, this is not like an OLED television, right? But because it's a laser projector, triple laser projector, you're not going to get nearly as much like light bleed as you would get from some like bulb type thing. So as a result, you get really good contrast in here, right? It's able to really keep the amount of light bleed and just light that is going onto the wall at a minimal here. And again, this is a fairly bright room. This is a fairly bright room. Like I have a big window right there. Okay, now let's do a quick audio test. I just have a few tracks here we can test. So that's 80 dB up close. Let's move away. Now I'm about 12 feet away. Right up close, you're looking at approximately 80 dB, like in this kind of zone here, you know, within a few feet. Moving back as far as 10 to 12 feet, you're still at 70 dB. 70 dB is very loud. It's room filling, right? So 70 dB, like 80 dB is actually can damage your hearing, to be honest. 80 dB is very loud. So, you know, you don't want to be sitting right here with this thing blasting into your ear. It will actually hurt your hearing. But sitting further back, you know, easily you could turn it up to full blast and get the whole room filled. Now the quality of the sound is quite good, honestly. It's impressive because the sound is coming out of just, you know, this area here, and it's a very thin projector. It's a very, very thin projector. I mean, they do advertise Harman Kardon speakers, so I mean, they're obviously very proud of the speakers in this thing, but the delivery is there. The bass is pretty good, honestly, for such a thin thing. Okay, so what about now, kind of already gave away what I'm gonna do here, gaming. Go like that, and it's gonna switch over to my PC, which is what I wanted to do. So it's mirroring right now, that's fine. But because it's so crisp, it's 4K, it's a laser projector, it's 4K, it's gonna get to be very large, or you can have it small, it's your choice. It's very bright, it's very adaptable, and it's very portable, and it's very crisp. While this gets its game stuff set up here, I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna enter low latency mode here. Boost mode, to reduce latency, we're gonna go yes. Black equalizer, we'll turn that on. That's going to enhance the blacks. You could put a crosshair, I don't care about that. You can come in here and you can change the mode. So depending on what kind of game you are, FPS, first person shooter, this kind of stuff, RTS will, you know, affect it a little bit what you're trying to do here. I'm just going to put standard and VRR. So now we're actually cooking here. Come in here. Now, again, unfortunately, recording laser projectors is so difficult. The cameras physically freak out. So whatever you're seeing on this video, and you're like, man, that looks pretty good. Just imagine that looks much better in person. The cars, like look at it in the wheels there, because this has a 20,000 to 1 contrast ratio, right? Let's bring that down. 20,000 to 1 contrast ratio, because it's a projector, but it's a laser projector, right? So it's not like a screen where it's like an IPS screen and it really struggles with those contrasts and those darks. Here we don't have that issue. We're actually able to get those really dark blacks. It's not the same as an OLED, right? A little different than that. But for a projector, it's crazy good, and that's important. We have VRR, so if the frame rate does flicker up and down a little bit here, we're gonna maintain a smooth feel, but what this is gonna do is it's gonna help maintain smoothness and fluidity despite that. And this is looking great, right? Right now we're in a darker scene. It's nighttime. Well, it's turning into daytime, but it was nighttime, and so it's able to maintain that. You can see the really nice dark contrast areas on the back of the car. We have those bright whites in the sky up there, looking great. Looks better in person. Remember, it looks better in person because we have that really nice 20,000 to 1 contrast. So the back of the car is looking nice and contrasted. And then we have these super bright, vivid colors up here, like reds and pinks and all that. It's gonna look fantastic. I'll try to play with one hand while recording. It's gonna look fantastic. And look at that, we come out there, get some more lightness there. It just looks so nice, right? It just looks fantastic. Okay, let's wrap it up. Nice projector, it's fantastic. We have triple laser, 4K, awesome colors, portable, lots of inputs, full certification for a lot of different apps in here, and of course you also have great audio. So it's gonna be fantastic for just like, let's say we're not moving around, skip the portable side of it, it's really good, right? Use it at home, set it up, it's gonna be awesome. You're getting a 4K laser projector, like with really good colors, audio, everything built in. Of course, you can extend the audio if you need. I want something like this to take with me because you get these very impressive specs, but it's super portable, right? Super portable. I mean, what more can you say about it? I think a lot of people should be looking at this as a home-based projector. Obviously, I think that a lot of people should be looking at this who are gamers as well. I think gamers are sleeping on projectors because they want the fidelity. They've always been like that, forever. That's how gamers have been going back decades, right? So if you want to get gamers into a projector, it has to be a very good projector. This one brings that, right? 4K, huge, at reasonable refresh, or 1080p at high refresh. So it's good for both type of gamers. Fidelity gamers, obviously fantastic. High refresh competitive gamers, obviously fantastic. Get something like this. It's worth the investment. You can replace a screen with it. You can take it with you. Check it out. It's a very good product, specifically for gamers.